Man, I hate Twitter. What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is, if you were on Twitter earlier, you'll know what this video is about. I know some of you genuinely stay away from Twitter, and I'll tell you what, you guys are on point. Let me tell you, if I didn't have the show. But yeah, I wanted to do this video because I knew that Alex Iwobi was a big source of debate over the weekend. You had some people that felt like he did well. You had some people that felt like he did brilliantly. You have some people that think he's the worst player ever. I can't believe I'm going to say this because apparently some of you don't know. So here is where I stand with it. For me, I'm going to talk to you as I'm Chris, not in Chig mode right now. I'm in Chris. Some of you more informed people, i.e. people I've told before or people who are Nigerian, will already know that Chig is actually short for Chigozie or Chigozie, if you're going to put a bit of a Nigerian twang on the way you pronounce it. Both of those names are me. Chig is the more jovial me, the more ranting me, the me that has a lot of fun with it. But when I come to you like this, you know I'm in serious mode. Earlier today, I wanted to do a video designed to talk about Alex Iwobi and why I felt that he would not succeed at Arsenal. Let me make it abundantly clear. I'm a Nigerian, British born, but I'm a Nigerian. Anyone who's not clear on the fact is I've been an Iwobi supporter since day one, much sometimes to the detriment of whenever I do a video like this. Today, I found myself battling against my own people, 3 individuals in particular, one of which follows me. You would think that idiot should know better. Who didn't understand that, who didn't want to wait for the video. He had prejudged, they had all 3 prejudged and said, you know what, well, you're exactly what's wrong with the fan base. You know, Alex Iwobi be just fine, this, that, and the other. Let me give you my opinion on Alex Iwobi. Some of you will know this. Apparently, some of you don't. Here's an unpopular opinion. I think Alex Iwobi is the most skillful player in our squad. Very unpopular opinion. Forget end product, forget technique. I'm talking about pure skill. He's the most skillful player in that squad. Here's another unpopular opinion. Alex Iwobi is the best dribbler in that squad. Here is another unpopular opinion. Alex Iwobi is the only player in that squad where when he gets on the ball, you feel like something's going to happen. All of these are true statements, in my opinion. That doesn't sound like a man that's against Alex Iwobi, does it? So why the title of this video, Jig? Let me explain to you what I meant, which is what some of you should have held on and waited for. I don't believe that no matter what Alex Iwobi does now will be good enough for the Arsenal fan base. Most of the Arsenal fan base have already judged him and executed him. Even if Alex Iwobi scores a hat-trick this week, midweek, because we don't have a game this weekend, even if he scores a hat-trick on Thursday, they will put it down to the opponents being terrible. You know, it's funny. Just before I came on air, news broke that Ramsey has signed his pre-match contract to go to Juventus his pre-match contract, his pre-contract agreement to go to Juventus, and he signed on a 400,000 euros a week deal, set to be the highest British paid player overseas, even more than Gareth Bale. I remember when I initially came out that story, go and look at my comment section, go and look at my Twitter, right? I remember that when I initially came out that story, so many people were saying, "Oh, Aaron Ramsey hasn't gone for the money. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done that. He's one of our own. He's British. He's a part of the British core. He's this, that, and the other." Apparently Juventus only want to give him 140,000 a week. That's what the Guardian have reported, and the Guardian are a reliable paper. Okay. Still looking now? It wasn't for the money, apparently. But then I kind of reasoned with it, and I didn't take too much of an issue with it at the time, because I kind of thought to myself, do you know what? I like Aaron Ramsey for the simple reason that, for all the grief I've given him over the years, whatever he's doing right now, power to him. Quite honestly, power to him. Why wouldn't you go to a powerhouse like Juventus, and then not only that, play with someone like Cristiano Ronaldo for, even if it's only for one more year, right? Go to Juventus, play with one of the best players there's ever been, and then get paid a shitload of money to go and do that, to live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? But the fans are more forgiving of that. But they're not so forgiving of someone who, by all intents and purposes, grew up here, but isn't necessarily one of their own. Even though he is technically one of their own. Was born here, was born in Nigeria, grew up here. Grew up at the age of 4. Joined the Arsenal Academy at the age of 9, I believe. Was a Newham native until then. And this kid tries every single week to do something. Something. It's more than I can say for a certain £350,000 a week superstar. Every week, this kid turns out and he's trying to do something in the face of abuse. Ridiculous abuse from supposed Arsenal fans. Whether it's online or whether it's at their live in person. And he does that week in, week out. My man scored a fucking goal over the weekend. And you know what the attitude was? Oh, well, that shit was going off target anyway. What? Only an Arsenal fan base would say some stupid shit like that. What the fuck difference does it make if it was going off target? Did it go in? Well, yeah, but fucking nothing. You have certain people who perhaps are a little bit more well-known, a little bit more influential, who will protect the likes of Granit Xhaka all day long. And then for some reason, when it comes to Iwobi, oh, well, I'll get rid of him. And then you wonder why, in the face of all that, I don't think he'll succeed at Arsenal. You wonder when every time this boy, this 22-year-old boy, comes out onto the pitch in the face of abuse from half of you motherfuckers, are you wondering why I don't think he'll succeed? You wondering why I don't share your insane enthusiasm that I think he'll be fine? The boy has no chance. All the talent in the world, and yeah, don't get it twisted, people. The boy can sometimes frustrate the hell out of me. But guess what? So can Granit Xhaka. Guess what? So can Mustafi. Guess what? So can most of that damn squad. Every single one of them does something that pisses me off. But it's only highlighted when Alex Iwobi does something. Because he's the one that isn't passing backwards, that isn't passing to the side. He's the one that's trying to take on these motherfuckers. Because none of the others are. So when you have a player like that, of course sometimes he's going to lose the ball. Of course, the man's 22 years old. I'm seeing these stupid arguments of, oh, well, you know, Sane at 22, at 22, he wasn't, you know, at 22, he's doing so much more. So, what the fuck does that mean? I tell you what, Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook at 22 years old. What the fuck did you do when you were 22 years old? Does that make you any less of a success? Does that mean you're a failure because you didn't create a version of Facebook when you're 22 years old? What does that mean? The arguments from this fan base is astounding. How many fucking Sanes are there at 22 years old? How many fucking Raheem Sterlings are there at 20 years old, or however old the fuck he is? To start making those sort of comparisons is dumb as fuck. He's the only player we have where their first instinct isn't go backwards. And why do you think they have that fucking attitude? Because they are terrified that whenever you motherfuckers are watching them in person, that you're gonna react if they lose the ball. If they try and do something, or they try and deliver the ball to someone, your first reaction is, oh, instead of encouraging them. Of course, their first reaction is gonna be, well, pass backwards. That's a completed pass for me. He's the only one that tries to do something. Apart from Lacazette, all right, I'll give Lacazette a pass. Why I don't believe he will succeed at Arsenal is simple. It isn't down to the fact that I've lost faith in the player. Quite the opposite. The kid has it. He has something. Oh, yeah, don't get it twisted. Let me repeat myself because people are always hard of hearing on the internet. I know he needs a lot more. He needs end product. He needs goals. But the kid ain't that bad. I bet you didn't even know he had this season alone. This kid has 7 assists, 4 goals this season in all competitions. The way you motherfuckers talk, he may have the goal last weekend was his first goal, and he ain't done shit else. If he goes on to get 5 goals and 10 assists, would it be that bad of a season? In 32 appearances? And you wonder why I don't think he'll succeed at the club. When you have fans that don't believe in him. And if you have fans that don't believe in him, then of course I believe he should go and succeed somewhere else. Of course I believe he should go to a Crystal Palace. Not just, oh, well, because it's his level. Go to a Crystal Palace. Go to a West Ham. That, I'll tell you what, listen, I've had my issues with West Ham fans. But I'll tell you what, they'll appreciate him a hell of a lot more than we do. So to all those Nigerians that were going at me, you should have waited for this video. It's not a case of, I don't believe in the player. It's not a case of, I don't rate the player. I'm well aware that I think Iwobi will be just fine. Only if he leaves the club. Because this fan base won't give him a chance otherwise. They'd rather a £350,000 fortnight playing I'm always sick Mesut Ozil that may once in a while hit a half decent pass out of nowhere and then be labeled the Messiah. They'd rather that. They'd rather a Granit Xhaka committing about 4 or 5 mistakes that lead to goals and then him being labeled as someone who we miss when we barely get over a Huddersfield side. This is our fan base. See, for me, the one thing that is consistent with me always is I don't let sentiment rule my head. Not when it comes to Arsenal. Yeah, of course. I said this yesterday and I'll say it again. I want Alex Iwobi to do well. Guess what, motherfuckers? The same way that you British guys or you English guys want your English people to do well. Yes, of course, you want Arsenal to do well first, just like me. But you also want your British core to do well. You know what? Completely respect that. Hell, I was born here. I want the British people to do well too. But let me tell you something. It will never cloud my judgment. I will only judge shit how I see it. And the truth of the matter is, Alex Iwobi ain't a bad player. Is he the best? No. Is he the finished product? No. He's 22 years old. Just because there's a Leroy Sané that exists in the world doesn't mean that everybody should be a Leroy Sané by the time he's 22 years old. People develop at different rates. And I do agree with one comment that was said earlier. Alex Iwobi would be just fine. But in all honesty, it's come to the point for me, personally, as someone who cares about the kid, and quite selfishly, I'll admit it, as someone who supports Nigeria and wants Nigeria to do well, I hope he leaves the club for his own self-respect and for his own confidence. Where he just says, you know what, fuck all this racist abuse shit. I'm out of it. Because he ain't that bad. And I'll tell you what, if he goes this summer and we don't replace him with a like-for-like dribbler, you guys will miss him when he's gone. Because I'm telling you, you think about it. In the entire squad, is there anyone that takes on players the way he does? And yeah, sometimes he fucks up. But every now and again, there's this air of brilliance about him where you're like, whoa. And that is what I'll continue to see, regardless of whether or not he's at Arsenal or not. And for my own personal hope, if he doesn't get the respect he deserves, I hope he leaves Arsenal. I really do. Anyway, that's me and my ranting over with. You guys let me know whether you agree. I'm sure I'm getting abuse right now. I don't give a flying fuck. But leave it in the comments below anyway. I'll have a laugh at it. If you like this video, crush, destroy, drop kick the shit out of this like button. At this point, I actually don't care. I just wanted to get it off my chest. I actually kind of feel better that I've got it off my chest now. So now I'm off to go and troll some people about Aaron Ramsey, especially those people that actually thought that he wasn't staying around for money. But anyway, I joke. That type of banter I like. But the Iwobi thing and the way I was getting attacked, not by anyone else, by my own people, really broke my heart. But hey, the internet, eh? You guys let me know what you think. I'm out of here, people. Take care.